It's 6 p.m. I'm going to call the meeting to order. So the West Brookfield Select Board, you need to change that.
Not until the AG comes back with it.
Not till the AG comes back? Okay. Board of Selectmen, Tuesday, June 23rd. The first item, we have a lot on the agenda this evening. So the first item on our agenda are the meeting minutes of May 12th, 2026, May 26th, 2026, and June 2nd, 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of May 12th, May 26th, and June 2nd of 2026.
I'll second the motion. Do we have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item on the agenda is appointments, resignations. Are these all resignations? Okay, we have an appointment. Let's do the appointment separate from the resignation. From resignations.
You want to do them all at the same time, or one at a time?
Let's do them one at a time, please.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Ali Ritzer, Assistant Animal Control Officer.
Second the motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Ali Ritzer as the Animal Inspector.
Second the motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Michael Droulette from the Recreation Committee.
Second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Alexander Green, full-time police officer.
Second the motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Matthew Sliegel, full-time police officer.
Second the motion. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to acknowledge the resignation of Select Board Member Vice Chair Catherine Lamika. Her last meeting was 2 weeks ago. And for all the resignations, we would like to publicly thank them for their service to the town. We need a motion to appoint. Can he appoint himself? Make a motion to appoint himself, or should I do it?
You should probably do it.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Henry Brogdon as a Central Massachusetts Regional Planning Commission alternate member.
Second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. The next item on our agenda is the dog hearing. And these can be quite emotional, so hopefully we can get through this one without...
So, you'll read the public
Yeah.
hearing notice.
Yep. Do I have to read the whole decision protocol?
No, just the public hearing notice that's on the agenda.
Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Section 157, to receive testimony and evidence regarding a dog attack from a dog owned by Glenn and Heather Peterson of 23 Cottage Street, West Brookfield, and to determine if the dog is found to be a nuisance or dangerous dog, and if so found, what action shall be ordered or taken. I need everyone here that could speak during this hearing to raise their right hand and repeat after me.
About the dog or
About the dog hearing. This is about the dog hearing. I will swear in I swear that the testimony I am about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Is anybody else out there?
Greg.
He's out there.
He did too.
You did too?
I witnessed it.
All right. I'm looking for the actual complaint.
That'll be on the next.
Wayne Claiborne? Can you tell us what happened, please?
On the morning of Wayne Claiborne lived at 69 Lakeview Ave. On the morning of May 6th at about 7:45 in the morning, Michelle and my wife, Michelle and I, were walking as we normally do. We had walked downtown across the street and coming back. And when we got, it's about 3 houses down from here, when we got there, a large German Shepherd attacked us. I got my wife out of the way and was backing up and backed all the way across the street by the time the dog had bit me in my left hand, and I also tore my right hamstring as a result of the injuries. I'm undergoing therapy now. We tried to get away from him. There was nothing we could do. I mean, he was coming. We've been looking at real estate down in North Carolina. I had about 12 sheets of paper in my hand, and he bit right through it. The police responded, the rescue squad, the police responded, and I sought treatment that day. Just for reference, about 10 days before that, Michelle and I were doing the same walk, and another dog from the same residence came out. It's a very small dog, was running around the station, nipping at your ankles type thing. And the owners came out and tried to catch the dog that morning. And one of the owners just worked there for a few minutes trying to catch the dog, and she said, "I just don't have time for this," and she went back in the house. The dog continued to chase us as we walked back home.
In your email, you said something happened 2 weeks ago?
That was the incident approximately 2 weeks prior.
Okay. Who's the owner of the dog?
Right here, both of us.
Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah. We're sitting in, and we have,
Could you state your names too, please?
Heather Stewart Peterson.
Glenn Peterson. So this is, if I may,
Of course.
that's how we generally have it set up. There's a leash there, and that's our back porch. Our back porch is normally secured with that little bungee there. What happened was the little dog was out on the leash, and somebody didn't resecure the bungee. He came back up, knocked the gate open, and then when they walked by, the little one is a yapper. He ran out, started barking, and then the shepherd went out, and as soon as I heard the shepherd barking, I ran out there and immediately called him. He immediately came back. I looked, and the first thing she said was, I apologized profusely. First thing I said was, I'm sorry. And first thing she said was, sorry's not good enough, which it's not, because they hired a lawyer 2 days after that. So that's the dog, and that's the little dog. And you should see, that's how he plays. He nips. And then if it was a bite, if it was an attack, it wouldn't have been a pinky. It would have been something more than that. I mean, he's not vicious. Mm-hmm. He was playing, he was going after the papers, he was nipping. And
How old is the dog?
7.
7. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Well, just the little dog that was mentioned, that nothing was obviously reported about him, is a 8-pound dachshund. And that absolutely was never said, I don't have time for this. It's my daughter's dog. She came out and caught him. He was a tiny dog. But again, as he was saying, we apologize. I understand it's very scary to have a dog running at you, any dog barking. He has a loud bark. But
And he did nip.
husband stated they had papers in their hands, and the dog was kind of grabbing at the papers and nicked his pinky finger. It wasn't a medical emergency.
Did the dog draw blood?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he nicked his finger.
Yeah, did the same thing to me a bunch of, and this is just just from where we have him boarded sometimes.
Where do you board him?
Paws Plaza, Sturbridge. It's on Route 15. And just a record of his...
122 pounds?
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
He is a big boy. And that's why, and he's got a deep bark, and he's a scary sounding dog. But he's not vicious.
There never been any other incidents of him.
That was my first question. Is this the first time?
Absolutely not.
And we waited around, we spoke with the officers, Lieutenant Thunder and then the other officer, waited for them to finish with their medical treatment at the end of the street, and animal control came. They informed us that Zevon would have to go through a 10-day home quarantine, which we complied with no issues. Again,
Has the dog had training, obedience training?
no,
No? Okay.
it's self-trained.
And he did, as my husband said, as soon as he called him, he came running back in the house, like immediately. This wasn't a prolonged incident that, lasted minutes, it was seconds.
I would just say from the person that's on the other...
Hold on a second, please.
Again, when we were speaking with the officers, they had called the police in an ambulance using, apparently they thought it was much worse than it was. But they did, 5 minutes later, walk right past us while we were still talking to the officers, and he had a Band-Aid on his pinky finger.
Okay. Officer Sharon? You have anything you want to contribute?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
So when I got there, Officer Sharon was the initial officer. He was there probably 10 minutes before I got there. When I got there, he was in the ambulance getting treated by the EMS. We went down to the other gentleman and obviously called animal control. The dog was already inside the house at that time. And animal control came out and quarantined the dog.
You had something else you wanted to say?
Yeah, I'd like to add a couple of very important medical/healthcare details that are critical. Wayne takes blood thinners. So his bleeding was excessive. There was a lot of blood in the street, and there were 3 fingers that were pierced by the dog's teeth. It was not just one, it wasn't a nip. More concerning, anytime there was a break in the skin from a dog bite, mandatory treatment in the state of Massachusetts is that you undergo antibiotic treatment for 10 days, which is one of the strongest antibiotics. It's not used in a hospital. It causes intense GI distress. So Wayne had to suffer with that for 10 days. In addition, he also had to receive a tetanus booster, no matter when his last one was, because it was an active bite. And I would also like to clarify the nature of the attack, as Wayne was protecting me. We were in the middle of Cottage Street when he was bitten. So we were backing away from the dog as it charged at us. It came bounding. Sorry?
Was the little dog loose as
He was
well?
tied up.
He was tied up, but he was
outside.
He wasn't in the yard barking.
Okay.
He was not part of the equation.
He was.
Well,
Let's.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, please. Thank you.
so we immediately tried to get away and told the dog to go, and that is when the dog cowered down. Now, we've had dogs together as a married couple for over 30 years. We're used to dogs. He cowered down.
The dog cowered down.
The dog cowered down and bared his teeth and growled.
Okay.
I wouldn't classify that as a nip. Wayne continued to tell it to go away while he's taking his other hand to protect me. He's backing up, and the dog did get a hold of his left hand and bite through all the papers that he was carrying. But the bigger injury from the rapid moving backwards was the tear to his hamstring that he's still undergoing physical therapy for.
Have you made any improvements on the restraints for your animals in your backyard?
We're a little more aware of not allowing the gate to be open at any time. There's not a whole lot we can do. We do have also an enclosure in the back that we put them in most of the time that they're outside. They're spending time there now. We've improved that.
Has the dog been there for all 7 years?
No, we
Okay.
moved here in 24, beginning of 24.
Okay.
January. But there's no history in Sturbridge where we were before, and there's been no history here either.
Okay.
Can I?
Sure.
Heather Goff, 43 Cottage Street. I live a few houses down from them. I have 3 young boys, and I just want to make sure that you are aware that there is a bus stop like 3 houses down from their house with lots of little kids, and there are kids on bicycles riding up and down that street all summer long. And as a mom with young children, it makes me very nervous, right? When I heard about this, I was super concerned because what if this was a child? And that's kind of, I just want to make sure that you guys are aware that there is a bus stop 3 houses down, and there are kids all over that street all the time.
May I say something?
Please.
I understand there's kids in the neighborhood. I have kids of my own. And again, nothing has happened with any children in the neighborhood, any kids riding bikes, any kids at the bus stop. I mean, there's absolutely nothing has happened. This is a one-time accident. You know, sometimes dogs get out, but it's not. There was no malicious intent on our part. It was an accident.
And the dog has interacted with numerous people, numerous times. We have people coming to do a warrant at the house all the time and never had an issue. I don't know what set, sometimes things set, I don't know if something set him off or what, but.
What finally happened and the incident or the attack? Did you come out and get the dog?
Yes.
Or
Called him.
okay.
I ran out,
He ran out.
halfway out, I called him, and he came running in the house.
Okay. Did you offer to pay for his medical bills and his injuries?
Yes, well, they walked away before I could do anything. I offered, I said, I'm sorry, can I do anything? They walked away, they said, her words, exactly, she had her phone out. I don't know if she's trying to video or, oh, you had a phone, I'm calling 911. It's, sorry is not good enough. And then I called my insurance company says I have a good faith policy where they would have covered all of their...
They know you have a German Shepherd?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and they would have covered all the medical, urgent care, any antibiotics, anything else, any PT that he might have required for his hamstring pull, assuming that happened then.
They didn't give us an opportunity to
Understood. I
discuss
understand.
it.
I understand. Like I said, as a selectman, for me, this is one of the hardest things we do. And they're very loaded with emotion, because everybody. I mean, I've had dogs my whole life, and these are difficult.
So you had mentioned this was the first incident. Now, on your email, number 3, what actions will be taken to ensure that this doesn't happen to someone else? This is a known issue in town. So has this happened before or not?
Not with our dog.
Known issue?
No.
Yeah, I'm Don Root. I live on Cottage Street here. I was there at the time of the attack, walking my lad. A couple corrections there. It was not just a nip. It was the dog was going for him.
Okay.
I watched him back up. And the second thing, it was probably a good minute before the owner came out. I mean, he was backing up. He was pushing her aside. The dog came constantly several times. There was not a playful nip there at all. None. also, my wife has witnessed in the past when the dog was loose and chased the UPS guy.
Is she here?
I asked her not to come because you are very rude to my wife.
Yeah,
So I asked her not to.
Stop, please.
Yes.
Please direct everything to the board. Do not talk amongst each other. All right?
Yes.
Yeah, she has witnessed the dog loose, chased the UPS driver. UPS driver ran, jumped in the van. The dog was barking at the van, and the driver just stayed in the van. So this is not the first time. And I've heard from some other folks that the dog is broken out of the enclosure, that they have it in the back. It's not that. There was another time I heard from another person that initially they had the dog, one of those anchors that go on the ground. On a rope or chain, the dog pulled it right out of the ground and came running. So this is not a one thing.
I'm sorry, can I say something?
Yes.
This is just, whatever, we have no proof of any of these things he's claiming, and nothing was ever reported, so there's no documentation.
We understand. We understand.
Information to us.
Right.
Is there anything the animal control can add?
I don't have a lot. That was my first incident with that dog that was reported. The only thing I can kind of add, sometimes I use this route to drive the horses, and I did notice he's behind a baby gate, and he does act like if he got out, it would maybe be a problem, but he had never gotten out. So, I mean, personally, I would like to see him not behind a baby gate, at least. Something a little more secure, taller, that he can't jump. But that was the first time I had any reports on the dog.
I'd be happy to go get my wife and bring her here.
No, that's okay. I don't think that's necessary, unless you want to hear from him.
No, I believe him.
Is there anybody else that would like to have some input on this? Okay.
I just had one suggestion. I know you're going to go through deciding what the options are. I have no wish to have dogs, put to sleep, or none of us want to do that. A suggestion would be putting a fence up so the dog cannot come out of the porch and come into the street. That would definitely, cut that off so that, it couldn't just all of a sudden, because the little gate was open, keep running out. So a sufficient fence would be, a good thing to do.
All right. So now comes our deliberation. You have some initial thoughts?
Well, I mean, and I thought, and I don't know, we as a board can do this, but I personally am not a big fan of euthanizing an animal.
No, neither am I.
Apparently, the gate with the bungee's no good, the back enclosure's no good.
Why is the back enclosure no good?
I'm just going by what
Hold on.
people,
He's never gotten out of that.
No,
well, I'm just,
we're in our deliberation phase right now.
it's an issue. Neighbors are worried about their kids. Neighbors are worried about walking their animals. Neighbors are worried about walking themselves. You said this was the very first issue. Apparently, I'm hearing it's not the very first issue. And I'm just going by what I'm hearing tonight. At least some kind of permanent secure area.
So the first thing we have to do is determine whether the dog is a nuisance dog or a dangerous dog.
Well, right off the bat, it's a nuisance dog.
Yeah, I would tend to agree that it's a nuisance dog.
I mean, it's a nuisance nuisance dog to me. It's a terrible thing he did what he did.
It is a terrible thing he did what he did. Do you think the dog is a dangerous dog?
I think he's a nuisance
Dog. So if, and I tend to agree, I think the dog's more of a nuisance dog than a dangerous dog. So if the dog is a nuisance dog, the state does limit us to what we can find and what we can do, but we can order that the dog be humanely restrained. The dog be confined to the premises, which you do. You must keep it on a leash. You have proof. The owner must provide proof of insurance in the amount of not less than $100,000. I would imagine that we can say that they have to replace that, because to me, I agree with Henry, Mr. Brogdon, that the baby gate doesn't cut it for a 110-pound dog. I would like to see them put in either a heavier duty gate with a real sliding lock, not a bungee. I mean, I've had a 90-pound dog that would just blitz right through that with no problem.
So in your determination, you're going to make a determination on whether or not it's a nuisance or if it's a dangerous. And so the first thing to do would be to look at the definitions of nuisance versus dangerous. So did it attack livestock or a cat, or did it attack a human? Did it damage property, or did it damage a human? Or, something like that. Was it disturbing because it was barking and didn't stop barking for a long time, that type of thing? Then all of those things would be nuisance. If it attacked a person and caused harm, then at that point, it would be more likely considered a dangerous dog. At that point, I think that's where you're going when you're talking about imposing a condition or an order. That would bring you to item 2, that the dog be confined to the premises of the keeper of the dog, right? You're talking about fencing to make sure that it doesn't get out to the street. So I think that's probably what you're really looking at.
All right. Yeah. So by the definition, we should rule this a dangerous dog, because it did attack a person. I don't think the attack was provoked. I think the attack is unfortunate.
Yeah, it seems as though it happened because it wasn't confined.
Right.
Whereas if it was in a confined space, it would not have happened.
So under dangerous, you said 2, the dog be confined to the premises of the keeper of the dog. When removed from the premises of the owner or the premises of the person keeping the dog shall be securely and humanely muzzled, and that the owner provide proof of insurance of $100,000, the owner or the keeper, against any claim. Those are the requirements on the dangerous?
Well, that's what we can order. Well, we can, I mean, I don't think we could order.
No, you are able to determine what you believe is appropriate.
Right. I don't think we want to order euthanasia. Do you?
No, sir. One of the things to your email, you said you were looking for information as far as shots and everything. Did you get all that information from the owner?
With the help of the police department, I eventually did get it. I would say that was not an easy ordeal or pleasant. And absolutely the vet was no help at all. So in that particular case, the vet was a lot more worried about the dog than they worried about me. So to avoid having to go through the actual, I mean, I took all the antibiotics by pills. If you can't get the records, you actually have to go and take physical shots in the emergency room. I was able to avoid that with the assistance of the police department. They actually got the records for me.
What financially how have you been impacted? Has your insurance covered everything? How are you out of pocket?
Well, there's co-pays and all the things that go with it. I mean, still under physical therapy.
There was also lost work, and the intangible, it's summer. He can't play golf. He can't paddleboard. He can't kayak.
Excuse me, were you able to review the report from the people that treated him?
Medical report?
Well, the report from the EMS, where it says there's no dangerous bleeding and no dangerous areas.
Okay.
It's redacted.
All right.
May I ask how they got a copy of his confidential medical record?
Was it confidential? Was that the police
It's nothing confidential.
Absolutely, that's covered under HIPAA laws.
Can we stop, please? This is a Massachusetts State Police report. This is a police report, not and it's been redacted to protect the HIPAA.
That's just to show what I think is at the bottom of it all.
So we're really here to deal about the dog,
Yes.
okay? I would recommend you make financial restitution with them.
I offered, and our insurance company has offered, our insurance company has reached out 4 times to his lawyer, and his lawyer has not responded yet.
Okay. But we have to determine whether it's a dangerous dog and how we want to rule on that. I think we have to rule it's a dangerous dog. I'd like to see the dog, the gate restrained, a real gate on the front door. I'd also like to see some obedience training for the dog, formal obedience training at, there's a place in Charlton that does it.
The gate should be a certain height. It's a big dog. So you probably want to keep that.
What height? What would you suggest? 4
I
feet?
think they say higher than that. I would say at least 8 feet.
An 8-foot gate? For the,
Well, 8-foot fence, right? You don't want it to be.
yeah, but it's a railing around the rest of the porch, right?
How high is the fencing in the backyard?
Get the picture of the,
Well, that,
there's a picture
I
of the.
can't tell you.
He hasn't jumped
That
over.
looks maybe,
No, that's not,
That's
that's,
6, 3 or 4 feet.
that's on the back.
yeah, that's not,
No, that's the other photo I gave you, I think.
you got it in your photos too.
No, I gave him those. This is different. Oh, yeah, no, I did. Yep. So here's the deck.
There's some guidelines.
Well, so the dog would be, it looks like to jump over this, the dog would be at least, how high up is that 3 feet, 3.5 feet? Plus another 3 feet for that, so that'd be a 6-foot jump over to the grass.
Well, above the railing should be fenced off too, then. Just
Well-
has to be kept on the porch. And
Or in the
again,
backyard.
in the backyard. But he can jump right over that, can he?
No, he doesn't jump over anything.
Absolutely.
He's never jumped over anything.
My dog's 27 pounds, she can go over that thing.
Yeah, I know, some dogs don't. He's not.
Some dogs are jumpers, some dogs
He
aren't.
doesn't jump over fence. He has never jumped over any fence.
I have a question. I walk around, this square every day twice. A lot of people in town do. And that dog is always viciously barking when people go by, always. It's not just a yip yip. I mean, I'm walking on Church Street, I can hear a bark. I'm not,
No one's complained about the
no, I
barking.
understand, but I'm just saying, I'm not comfortable with just putting a bigger gate on there. I want to see a fence, so it can never reach the street if the gate is open. Sometimes you're not home, kids are in the house, something could happen. I just don't feel comfortable, living across the street down the ways. I'd like to see a sturdy, rugged fence come out so that even if I got out of the gate, it could not get on the street.
Is this the front? Is this the front?
It's the side, yes.
It's the side. I understand what you're saying.
You're inviting this to happen again, and it could be kids, it could be worse.
Trust me, I get
I'm
it.
sure the dog is a
No,
lovely dog.
I understand. You can put a self-closing gate up there. How do you get it into the back, a fenced-in area?
I take them on a leash.
You take them on a leash?
Those right here. Just doesn't say the height.
Does he climb up on top of the doghouse?
He sits under the shoulder.
Under dangerous, provided, however, that the combined shall mean securely confined indoors or confined outdoors as a securely enclosed and locked pen and dog run area upon the premises of the owner or keeper. Provided further that such pen or dog run shall have a secure roof, and if such enclosure has no floor secured to
The
the side.
secure proof?
Dangerousness. To determine behavior meets the definition of dangerous.
So the state has some guidelines. Here, it starts there.
So under Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Section 157, any outdoor pen must have a secure roof and height adequately sustain the dog. Outdoor pens must have 4 signs, secure roof, and a height adequate to successfully combine the dog. So you're missing a secure roof. If it lacks the secure bottom lines.
We asked for it to be buried 2 feet.
Yeah. We don't have any bylaws in town with respect to this, do we?
No.
So you'd have to replace this with a 6-foot fence, with a roof.
And it has to be embedded in the ground, not less than 2 feet. So it doesn't dig its way out.
All right.
Well, the dog attacked a human being. The dog has to be determined to be dangerous.
Correct.
Would there be a motion on the determination?
I would make a motion to determine that the dog meets the definition of a dangerous dog.
I'll second the motion.
I don't know, what is the dog's name?
Zevon.
Zevon? I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Now, do we have to make a motion?
Now we have to make a determination of how we want to handle it.
a second offense or a second attack, what would happen?
We'd hold another hearing,
Okay,
and it'd be taken into account.
okay.
And if,
I'm sorry? Go ahead.
I had something to say about it.
So does this have to be a motion?
You're going to, what you're going to do now is make a motion for the orders.
So the orders,
Well, I can read them if you want.
well, we actually have flexibility on the orders.
Okay.
We don't have to order the dog euthanized, we don't have to order.
No. I'm saying that I would like to make a motion that the dog be humanly restrained, that the dog be confined to the premises of the keeper of the dog. The restraints have to meet Chapter 140, Section, I just caught the 145.
140S, 174E, and 157, I think.
Section 157?
Yep, section 157.
The dog be confined to the premises of the keeper of the dog, which means securely confined indoors or confined outdoors in a securely enclosed and locked pen or dog run, which meets Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 140, Section 174E, and Section 157. Also, when the dog is removed from the premises of the owner or the premises of the person keeping this dog, the dog shall be securely and humanely muzzled. That the owner or keeper of the dog provide proof of insurance in an amount of not less than $100,000, insuring the owner or keeper against any claim. And
We have to replace this gate.
yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
talking about this thing too.
Right,
That needs a
yeah.
roof,
Well,
that
this-
needs
yeah.
a shelter, that needs to
Well,
go
it's got
2
a shelter,
feet
it's
in the
got a
ground.
shelter.
But I'm just saying, what
Right.
it needs by state law.
No, but state law doesn't mention this
No,
gate, so we
well,
need
that comes under being secured outside.
no, this is, no.
That section is inside and outside.
All right. Is there
But
any-
did you want to specifically say the
Yes.
gate on the
I
door?
want to specifically say they have to put in a self-closing gate at the top of the stairs to your porch.
That's reasonable.
At what height? At this height? At that? Or it's 6 feet?
Not at 6 feet.
Or at the top of the railing?
To meet the top of the railing of the rest of the deck, of the porch.
I don't, that's just...
Is that the motion you want to make?
That's the motion. I'd like to make this one.
I'll second that motion. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You do have the right to appeal?
Yes.
All right. And I'm just reading for my own.
So at the bottom
Yeah. conclusion.
of that page, at the conclusion of the hearing, if you are there, and at the results.
Okay, that's what I was looking for.
That's what you were looking
So you have the right within 10 days of the selectman's order to bring a petition to the district court within the judicial district of which the dog is kept, addressed to the justice of the court, praying that the order may be reviewed by the court or magistrate thereof, and after such notice to the officer or officers involved as the magistrate deems necessary. The magistrate shall review such action hear the witnesses and affirm such order, unless it shall appear it was made without proper cause in bad faith, in which case such order shall be reversed. You or any party shall have the right to request a de novo hearing on the petition before a justice of the court. The decision of the court shall be final and conclusive upon the parties. This hearing's closed. Thank you for your time.
Can you grab those papers if you don't need them?
The pictures back?
After you get that.
And I think we had the police report and the marks of the law.
No, I don't.
Right, the police report.
Yes, right there.
We just sit in the driveway. It's better. We just sit in ours. Cheaper. That's way better. Yeah, you got it ready. It's just when am I ever going to do it?
All right.
Last weekend,
The Marquis Solomon is there.
it's easier in the driveway. Just plop them in. Like, that's what they were thinking.
It's been like really terrible. We went in, like blue lips.
Do you have a slip now?
All right. So the next item on our agenda is the acceptance of an anonymous donation in the amount of $45,000 to the Council on Aging to keep the senior center open 5 days per week. So this is amazingly generous. And we thank the donor, whoever they may be.
It's amazing.
It is.
It is amazing.
It's amazing.
Miracle is what it is.
It is.
Sure is.
It's an absolute miracle.
And it just speaks volumes of the fact that there are services that are rendered through the town that are extremely important.
Yeah.
And for someone to come forward
Yes,
Yeah.
and feel
is,
that.
it's just amazing.
Makes my heart want to
I know.
burst. I just,
I know.
You have no
And
idea
you know what,
this means.
honestly, this town could use some good news
good
and
news,
this
and
makes
yeah,
the
there's a little
spirits.
good
You
news.
hear rumors and then you're like, nah.
I know.
It's like, it's a miracle. It's going to be, there are people that are going to be just so happy. We had tears like you wouldn't believe. I mean, I get it, with all respect. But, oh my God.
So as of July 1st,
Yes.
the senior center will be able to operate.
Yep.
It's 5 days per week schedule.
We'll continue with that.
Once the board accepts. Did you make a motion to accept?
They don't have a motion yet.
Busy clapping.
Did you accept?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
I'd like to make an emotion to accept an anonymous donation to the amount of $45,000 to the Council of Aging to keep the senior center open 5 days per week.
I will gladly second that motion. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yay. Some good news.
See, people need to be this way. It's just,
Yeah,
I'm blown away.
It's nice to see the community come together, or
Seriously
someone
humbled by all
in the
of
community
this.
step up.
Not a clue.
Next item on our agenda
But it's
is
worth it.
next on our agenda is the year-end appropriation transfer requests. We have two, one for the fire department and one for the recreation committee.
I would like to make a motion. I don't know where it is.
It'd be in tab number 5.
Yeah, no, I got it. I'm at it. I'm just,
Yeah,
I'd like to make a motion
4850.
to request a sum of $4,853 to be transferred from the fire department training wages account 01-220-5192 to the fire department equipment account 01-220-5580.
I'll second that motion. Discussion? Just so everyone's aware, the money's going to be used to buy some hoses, 6-inch low-level strainers, 6-inch self-leveling floating strainers, and some female threaded animals.
Contains two, yep, right after it should be screen. There you go.
Any further discussion?
Should have two of them there.
Also, fiberglass, there's another one.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that one passes.
I'd like to make a motion for the fire department to transfer the sum of $4,000.
This is the one that just,
There's
Another one.
another one?
Yep.
$4,367 to be transferred from the fire chief wages account, 01-220-5110, to the fire department's uniforms account, 01-220-5582, and the sum of $8,422. Can I do both of these?
Yep.
Okay. Be transferred from the fire department's firefighters' salary wages account, 01-220-5188, to the fire department uniforms account, 01-220-5582.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion? And this money is being used for some turnout gear, helmets, safety equipment. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. And we have one more for rec.
Right, yeah.
So we're it's on the agenda.
It is on the agenda, so if the board chooses to deny or to table, whatever your decision is this evening.
But it's already been returned.
It has been returned, but if the board decided to approve for the purchase of an ATV, then you would do so. It was just that it was purchased prior to approval, and there's no appropriations for that, and therefore you cannot. So it had to be.
I'd like to make a motion to the Recreation Committee to transfer the amount of $3,571 from account 01-630-5580 to account 01-630-5190. Purchase of an ATU to maintain ATV, I'm sorry, to maintain the town beach, volleyball courts, etc.
Second the motion. Any discussion? So this, they were using the ATV to rake out the beach, make it nice and smooth and pretty, right? Is that what was happening with it?
Yeah, I guess so.
So I actually live on Cottage Street, Heather Goff, and years ago I became a member of the boat club because the beach had, broken bottles, cigarettes, other nasty stuff, trash and whatnot down there. I have never seen the beach look as good as it does right now.
Well, the
It's
beach looks great.
beautiful, absolutely to the point where now I'm coming from the boat club over to the town beach instead. And I just think it's such a shame if we stop momentum with the town beach. I mean, the kids in this town really don't have much to do, and I just would I know we're in, a fiscal disaster right now, but I just would, this is a little heavier for me. It's a really beautiful area right now, and I just don't want the grooming of the beach to stop and the volunteers down there to stop. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So they've only used an ATV the last year or so?
Yeah.
Well, they haven't had this. This was just purchased, wasn't it?
No, yeah, it was just purchased, but somebody was using their own.
I think before, too, when there were lifeguards there, they would rake it, but there's nobody down there to take care of it now. There's not. You guys don't have lifeguards, you don't have a monitor, you have nobody down there.
Nope.
So who's going to do it?
Well, I know we don't have a recreation committee after tonight. So, and my personal opinion is, given the current financial constraints of the town, that we don't do this.
Well, know, it's just the beach, yeah, it's been very nice. And
Is there a concern having somebody to do it? Or purchasing the...
Well, the concern is that we don't have a recreation committee right now, do we? Or is it, who's
We
left
have a
on?
member.
We have a member on the recreation committee. So,
I believe you have a couple members, actually.
on the website, we have 2 other members.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think there's a lot of movement in the mob group. There's some people that are looking to get involved. I would like to remind you, years ago, we had, movies on the common, the ice skating rink, all these things going on, and the recreation budget was tens of thousands of dollars. It's been whittled down to nothing now. I think there's basically trash removal there, right? We are never going to get that money back. The youth is never going to get that money back. This is a year-end transfer. The money's not going to be there next year. You look at Brookfield, Warren, Holland Wales, they have thousands of dollars thrown at them for the youth sports and youth programs in town, and we really have nothing when it comes to recreation committee. I think this is a little short-sighted.
I don't
We'll
have
never
a
have this
problem.
money again.
I don't have a problem buying this and the other equipment to keep the beach clean and to keep the area safe. Like you said, as long as there's someone that can operate the equipment.
I just want to volunteer. If you just need a body, I'll do it for free. Just give me access to it. I live on Cottage Street, so I can just go right there and do it. I'm retired.
We can appoint you to the recreation committee if you'd like.
There you go. That's what you get. Yeah, I don't have to run for it? Okay.
You don't have to run for it. It's an appointed
If
body.
that's what it takes, I'd be happy to.
Would that member also maybe come back, the gentleman that was raking it? Because I was made aware that this might have been the reason for his resignation.
That is unknown.
Unknown, I don't know.
He is down there every day. He was down there.
I know.
He was
He did a great job.
Sad thing.
It's unfortunate that this happened. All right,
He's
we'll take a vote.
He's sitting right there.
I know he is.
We could ask him.
But he's not saying anything.
He's always very
He's trying to hide behind his fist.
I'm not saying anything because I think the way that it was handled was completely inappropriate. And for the amount of time and money I have spent down there of my own, I just purchased 2,000 DVDs to start doing movie nights on the common again. It's the way this whole budget thing is going down in town. You wonder why everybody wants to resign. Not being notified.
Well, can I just say that appreciate what you do. You have done, hopefully you do again. But there is a process and a procedure we all have to follow.
I'm completely aware of that, which is also why the past few years, anything I do, I always double check.
Was there a vote to transfer this money before you bought the machine?
So exactly how I emailed you guys, I asked about it, I submitted my paperwork, and what I was told was, advisory's not even meeting until after July 1st, I'll get this approved, make your purchases. And I did the very following day. I then got an email saying, this was done before May 28th. It was not. I submitted the paperwork June 8th, June 9th I made the purchase.
All right, Teresa, you want to make a comment?
I became aware of it when there was the transfer, and the advisory was going to be meeting last Wednesday, and so I had forwarded the transfers over because this board wasn't meeting until this evening. So, and then I had been questioned on the ATV, and at the same time, the invoices were due for this past warrant cycle, and there was an invoice for the ATV, and it had already been ordered. So at that point, when there's no appropriation made, it's not allowed by law for a purchase to be made without the appropriations. So basically what it was, listen, take it back, and if it is approved, then no problem, and they will, they totally understood, and that they would, honor it after. But there has to be an appropriation, and that's Mass General Law. So now I don't know, I wasn't there when there was an approval. You said you had spoken to an employee here, the accounting department, and that you had received approval. That's not the information that I have, but regardless, the information that I do have is that an invoice was submitted. I spoke with Quabog Equipment. It was ordered and delivered prior to the first approval, which would be tonight if you approve it. So that's why I had to take the actions that I have to take. But there was nothing personal about it, and I'm sorry.
But there was also other stuff that was purchased that would have been on our regular expenses. It would have been covered. It was also being made to be returned.
Well, it was returned, so all of the other stuff is downstairs. And the treasurer collector spoke with me today and asked if what should we do with it? Well, we're not going to, this had to do with that item, the ATV being ordered without appropriation. But as far as the buoys and this and that, that's not associated with the ATV and the chains and whatever else you had ordered, it's still there. And so I had advised her that what we'll do is we'll put it in the boiler room, keep it safe, and notify Recreation that we have these items so that it can be taken care of. But those are not being returned.
So, well, what's this transfer then for $735?
What does that one say?
It says buoys.
It says for buoys and ATV for Town Beach.
Oh, well, then the buoys would be, if it's not approved, then they would have to be returned.
All right. So, can I ask, personal question. In years past, you were using your own personal ATV. So
I had purchased the sand rig from Cape Cod, which is made for doing the beaches. I paid $5,000 for it. Unfortunately, the motor went.
On the one that, on your own private one?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with getting the ATV.
All right.
And the motion's made,
All right, so all in favor?
aye.
All right. You get the ATV. Now you gonna come back?
I'll think about it.
I'll help you.
I'll make a motion to transfer $735 from account 01 dash, I don't know if this is missing numbers, 5580-000000 to account 01-5120-000000 for the purchase of equipment, buoys, and it says ATV. I'm assuming equipment for the ATV.
I'll second the motion. All in favor? Or any discussion first? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right. The next item on the agenda is the fire chief requesting the Board of Selectmen to deem the following as surplus inventory. What's expected? Hey, Chief.
Good evening.
How are you tonight?
Great, yourself?
I'm awesome.
So listen, okay, I'll make a motion to deem the following as surplus inventory. A 100-foot section of 1-inch booster hose, a 50-foot section of 2-inch hose, a 50-foot section, 40 50-foot sections of 3-inch hose, 5 50-foot sections of 1.5-inch hose, 12 100-foot sections of 4-inch supply hose, 1 2,500-gallon tanker bag, 2 6-inch storage suction, and assorted rescue tools and lights, old jaws and air chisel. Quantity, 1 package, and I did make one mistake. The second one is 6 50-foot sections of 2-inch hose, not 1.
I will second the motion and discussion. So by declaring him surplus?
So all this equipment is non-serviceable equipment. All the hose has failed hose testing or is out of date and cannot remain in service. The only other comment I just wanted to let you guys know, so the jaws, that was an old set of jaws that the town had for many, many years. It's no longer in serviceable condition, but I did want the town to be aware, the jaws that we currently do have on the engine are a demo set that were given to us by a dealer, so we don't currently own that. So by surplusing the set that is on the list tonight, we won't have our own set that we currently own, but that set is regardless still not serviceable. My plan is to place a set of jaws in the capital plan for the fire department moving into the future.
How much is a set of jaws?
Roughly, so if we break it down per piece, it's about $15,000 per piece. There's 3 pieces in the set, so about $45,000 for a set today.
What will happen to all this equipment that we're declaring surplus?
The equipment that's on that list, I'll place on municipal, and it'll go into lots as auctions, and hopefully we get good prices for it, and that money can go back into the general fund.
Do we have a tanker bag?
So we do have one. It's in the Connex. Currently, we don't have a tanker in service.
But I mean, if we have to shuttle and we needed it, we have one, right?
We don't have oh, no, we don't. That's our only one. We don't have a truck to put it on. We don't have a means to shuttle it to and from fires. All of our mutual aid tankers that we would request out of fire have tanker bags already on them, and we would utilize them as they come in. And if we were to purchase a new truck in the future, it would come with a bag. So this bag is really just sitting in storage.
Any other discussion?
No, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Next item on the agenda, Garrett P. Marini, Quabog Youth Sports Complex proposal.
Garrett P. Marini.
Hi, Garrett.
How are you guys doing? Did you have a chance to review the?
I did read it, yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any questions on it?
I don't really. Do you?
No, I don't have any questions. I appreciate the offer, that's for sure.
I think we would need to run it by our legal counsel to see.
Okay.
And I'm sure knowing attorneys, there'd be some back and forth.
Yeah.
But I think this is, I certainly don't have a problem with this.
No, neither do I.
Do you want to inform the public of the proposal?
Yeah.
So what we're looking to do is utilize the fields at the West Brookfield Elementary School going forward for the youth sports programs. So we've offered to, between soccer, basketball, and baseball, we're all independent nonprofits. Mm-hmm. And we want to create a parent nonprofit called Quabog Youth Sports that would then be the liaison with you guys to manage those fields. We would mow them and maintain them. And not just the fields, but we also would like to incorporate the basketball court that's outside, the tennis courts, and the playground area, so that we can have that area be for the kids in town. We would prioritize the fields for the youth sports programs during in season, but then also, they'd be open to the public for other events that happen down there. And each sports group carries its own insurance, so we can put the town as a rider on all of our insurance policies. And we're hoping that we can have at least a year that we kind of see till July 1st next year, and then maybe be on a renewable lease or something, so we could have a long-term vision with it, so we can turn it into the Quabog Youth Sports Complex and maintain it and keep it going. It will give us an opportunity to raise funds, to apply for grants, and then to get community donations for upkeep.
So you'd be looking for a lease?
Well, just some sort
like
of
$1 a year, 99-year lease?
some kind of an agreement, so that if something came along we would know about it, because I think if we're going to invest either donations or grant money into it, it would be more enticing and appealing for donors if there was some kind of long-term.
But I think without a lease, you can't get grants, isn't that? Because that was the issue we had with the historical museum.
Okay. Yeah, so something like that for, dollar lease or whatever for that,
Yeah.
for the field area and the gym.
Oh, and the gym?
If we can use the gymnasium too, yeah. Our basketball program doesn't really have enough courts. The baseball program doesn't have enough fields either, but the basketball program, we want to try to protect all the youth sports programs. That's why we all came together to form this. So if the building is there and we can have access to it for the gym, and basketball carries its insurance as well, at least through the winter months. But I can see a lot of potential for summer camps and for other things if the gym is available.
And they have for years with the school, the youth sports have all used the basketball courts all year long. And they've always had their own insurance rider along with the use of the courts. And they've always, for the past 9 years, we've come up with a schedule of who, what, when, where, how.
Yeah, you self-manage it.
Yeah, I would still help out with that on my own time with Garrett and groups to help out.
Shouldn't that be done through the Recreation Committee? It is recreation.
Well, right now, the building, we don't know what we're doing with the building yet, so I also agreed, the thought occurred to me, it should potentially go through recreation, but it is also a different organization.
I just have a quick question about, so basketball is during the winter months. Is Highway going to be expected to plow, sand, salt, treat the
I think we were under the impression that we had to plow it anyways.
You will have to for insurance purposes.
So the school pays us to do that right now, and that money goes into a fund for equipment. So I'm just not sure how that works now moving forward.
Neither do we.
Yeah.
That would probably be part of the money that you decide.
Right, in the budget, there was a line item of $230,000, and part of that was including the plowing.
Okay, so the highway department would build that.
We will work that out outside of selectmen's meeting.
Yep, great.
And then the electricity, you'll be turning the heat up higher if it's got some occupancy.
Oh, they're kids, they can stay cold.
Running around anyway.
That's right, they're playing basketball, don't work at this.
Do suicides.
Yeah.
I know that Garrett has, I think, spoken with Teresa, but I would just kind of like to hear it in a public forum. Like, what is the plan with the building for the next year? Like, we've heard squabblings, like...
We haven't even started looking yet.
Okay.
All right?
So do you believe that we will be able to continue as normal as for the youth sports programs for at least this next year?
I would, personally, I think so, yes. But as far as this plan goes, we need to run it by our council and see what they have to say. Sure.
Was that a lease, or did you sell the train station to the society?
It's a lease.
It is a lease. I thought you sold it.
We did not sell it.
Okay.
No, it's a lease.
Okay.
So, can you reach out to council with this and see what they have to say, and then when we hear back from council, we'll come back and go from there.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
Would you also include the Recreation Committee?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that must be in your back then, if you're...
Just asking questions.
Can I just comment on the recreation committee part? So our local, towns, a lot of their youth sports go through the recreation department, but they also have a huge line item. The town allots tens of thousands of dollars to them. Why would, because we all are privately run, right? We all have our own bank accounts. We don't have any ties to the town. We don't have to open meetings and all that stuff. Why, if there's no fiscal money going into the recreation department, why would we have to work? Because it's going to put red tape for us.
Keep them involved, that's all. Just keep heads up. What's going on, what's being planned, what's allowed. I mean, it's just... To me,
nervous. Like, I'm like,
to me,
oh,
I'm
boy,
not
this is
saying
gonna be
that.
more red tape.
I'm not
No,
saying
you're
that
not
they'll
gonna
be the
need-
president of the group. They just keep them in the loop.
Okay.
Because, yeah, right now, our rec committee doesn't have anything to do with Little League or with the youth soccer or
they
anything
used
going
to,
on
and
down there.
that's what we've been talking about, is how come these things are not done through recreation anymore, where, for years and years and years.
Because there wasn't
they were-
funding. They had
Yeah,
to private.
there's no funding for it. So the town, as we all know, doesn't have any money. So
Money is always the answer.
it's always the money.
Well, thanks, guys.
All right, thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is PTO discuss playground at West Brookfield Elementary School.
That's me.
That's you.
So, our PTO has purchased a $110,000 playground, essentially. And it's been
How much was
sitting-
it?
Well, the playground itself was $52,000, and then we have another fund to cover the underlayment.
Compliant underlayment.
Yeah,
The rubberized
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, so like we are kind of just been sitting on that, and that was gonna start groundbreaking this summer before all of the things hit the fan. So now it's sitting in a 40-foot Connex on the school property, and I've been put in lead of how to figure out what the heck we're gonna do with it, and we don't really know, but we just need some direction, and we need to be kept in the loop as far as like what's best. We do really, really, really want it to stay in this community. Our families have put forth all of the money for it, and we've been promising our families for years that they're going to have an ADA compliant playground to send their kids to. Right now, the playground that's there is not for little kids. Lots and lots of children have broken their legs on that slide. So I have it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, can we
It's
see some
just in a
pictures?
box.
It's just in a box?
It's just in a box.
Do we need some help screwing it together?
So yeah.
I can bring my power tools.
So, like everythinging's there. Like the layout and the, what's it called? Like the blueprint, the specs, everything. Like I said, we were about to go underway with this. So if it's just like on the back of everybody's mind, like it's there. I don't know what you guys expect us to do with it now that the property is no longer going to be the school. Like,
I think the hope, at least of the grounds, is to still use it for youth.
and that's great, and that's what we did here.
Where were you planning on putting it at the school originally?
So it was to replace the playground that was taken out during COVID in the front of the school. It was for the kindergarten.
So if you're facing the front, it'd be on the left side?
So
in that
that's why
little
it's that
nook?
weird shape, because that's the shape that was allotted to us. So, but yeah, we don't want it to rot any longer in the Connex, and I certainly don't have any space for it on my property. So I didn't know if there was like, if the sports complex is a thing, then that's something, but I didn't know if that was like, did we want to
Would we donate it and have someplace else? Could it go on the beach? Could it go somewhere where we could, our children and families could
not on the beach, like
no,
like a grassy spot or
Like beach adjacent.
There used to be one down there, but that's where the volleyball courts are now.
right. So we
Those get a
obviously
lot of
wouldn't put
use.
it there.
They do get a lot of use.
So yeah, we just need to know where to put it and how to.
Or like what your options are.
Yeah, what are our options and what's our like timeline now? Because now we're just sitting on.
Is there enough room for it, like behind the school in that area, playground area, or no?
If we have access to those fields and if we can work with the recreation department or whoever's going to be in charge of that, like
I'm just,
we
the town
can
doesn't.
find somewhere for it. It's
The town doesn't really have a park, right?
correct. No.
And it'd be nice if maybe we could turn that space behind the school into a town park.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's sort of the big picture that we're thinking about.
So,
So we just have this asset.
I have
and
already been exploring and, talking with Teresa and stuff, is we didn't have a public park before.
we did or did not?
Did not. So the park that we have is at the school. Well, while school's in session, people that, have young children or do homeschooling, they can't use the park.
Right, and that's why we were thinking
So
like an alternative
I have
spot.
researched other properties that the town has to possibly put a rec center and a park, and but now with the whole thing with the school, plans could change. So,
I think with the school, there's a little bit of concern. I know it's a very difficult piece of property to sell, but like if they were to put this infrastructure there and then you sell it in a few years and we lose it, I mean, that's not a,
Well, we'd
that's
make
a
it,
concern.
we could always, if we put the school building for sale, we could always put a right-of-way back to the park when we sell it.
And if we have a lease on it, then
And it's not
that area in the back is
Right.
Yeah, we would just want like confirmation that it's not going to be
Lawyers,
bulldozed.
basically, is the answer.
I feel like if Mark was saying the septic is in between where the playground is and the end of the tennis courts, but over by where the soccer shed is there anything over there on the side? You know, on that?
There might be some
That kind of
culverts,
empty
but-
space,
Yeah.
right, and it's kind of shaded there, which would be fine. I don't want it to go in the wasteland that it was gonna go in, especially because
well,
that's up
and it-
attached to the
that's not-
school.
Yeah, no, I agree. It shouldn't go,
Right, no.
it shouldn't go there.
Visible and it's not, yeah.
And so are we responsible for getting that out of there by the 24th? Like that big
Yeah.
Conex thing? Yeah, it can stay there until we know where we're putting
A
it?
little bit, yep.
Got it, I love that.
The only thing,
Okay.
and then my concern was the same thing, is if these guys put the playground down there again, and we decided to sell the school, what happens? So that was my
Right.
concern.
It's a very
Why
valid
put
concern.
something new in somewhere where we might
Right,
potentially get rid of the grounds, that's all.
right, agreed.
I don't want to see you put it in and
No, I mean,
Gone, you know?
yeah, it's a big project, so.
It is.
And we just want to see it through, seeing as how it's been years and years and years of us
I
toting
didn't
that
know
it's
if
going
you
to
guys had
happen.
any other potential spots other than the beach. If you guys had come up with any other.
I think bandstand has a lot of space. It's only
That's
used for
super
parking.
historical and whatever.
Yeah.
It's red tape. Yeah, no, I don't think that it's going to be something that's possible, but we did look at the grassy area to the left when you first go into
I like that it's off
the
the
lake,
main road
or maybe
too,
across the street where the soccer
safety.
fields are, or something like that, but we just want it on town property where our community can
Yeah.
utilize it.
For sure.
Because
You
it's
know, I
something
see
we've never had
that.
before, and they deserve it.
Where all the really tall pine trees are, if you're looking at the boat parking to the left, like if we.
That's what I'm saying.
Couldn't any of it go there? Like if we cut down those
Because that's
massive
never
trees?
full for parking or anything. It's
Right.
never like a full lot. It's
Right.
never like people.
most certainly.
Yeah. Yeah,
Absolutely.
especially when we have fishing derbies.
I mean, the fishing derby, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people get yelled at
But-
for parking there.
Yeah. So I'm,
But, I mean, taking those trees down, I mean, it would be a lot more than just taking the trees down, because that's just a hill.
yeah, you'd have to,
You'd
I
have to take
understand.
the trees down,
You've also got.
get all that.
Beside the trees.
I mean, they did recently cut a bunch of those trees down, so it's possible.
Yeah, it's
kind of have to regrade it.
as long as it's on somebody's radar. I don't want to put trees out
No,
by
we
the
forgot
wayside.
about. Yeah.
Like I said, we have the money in our account
So if there's room, can you guys get together and see if there's room to put it in the back by the soccer shed?
Well, I want to make sure that they're golden, like I want to make sure that
Well,
their lease is set.
nobody's golden yet. We need to talk to the
Understood, but
attorneys.
like I'm not, we're not
just a
breaking ground until
dingy
we have.
bronze right now.
I know. But, yeah, something a little bit more concrete and then absolutely.
We
work
got
together.
7 acres on Wickabog Valley that the town owns,
Where?
Oh, yeah.
just after Paul's house.
I don't know, Paul. Where?
The old fire chief. I can't remember the number there.
Ask Peter. It's all wooded.
Yeah.
It's all wooded right now.
Yeah, it's all wooded.
It would cost a lot of money to.
Yeah, that's a
to
lot of
clear
money for
it.
trees, yeah.
Do you have anything you want to contribute, Henry?
No, I think behind the elementary school would be an excellent spot for it. Kids will be there. I know my grandson is too young to play sports yet, so he's on over at the swings, and a lot of kids will be.
And you
while
have
this game's
parking
going.
too, so that would.
It makes the most sense to keep it there.
I think it'd be an excellent spot for it.
So let's do this. Let's talk to the attorneys about this agreement, and when we hear back, we can expedite it somewhat.
That makes me feel, if you can do something like this, and we potentially talk about keeping the fields and all that.
Yeah, make it a public
Sold
park.
the building, at
Yeah.
least if we could get.
Sell the building, keep the park.
You know,
So,
keep that
it's something we
together
should
would
definitely
be.
look into.
Right?
Yep.
If they were to sell the building and they needed parking, like would our parking for that be taken away by, like, do we have to think ahead and think about more parking?
We don't know yet.
Yeah.
We don't there are still, unfortunately, a lot of uncertainties. And, as we know, technically school's still open for another week or two, and we're just beginning to explore alternative uses. All right. Which brings us to the next item on our agenda. Denise Pomprian discussed potential for a charter school.
Further muddy the waters.
Oh, yes. Hi, Denise.
How are you?
Good, how are you? So we're assuming you want to use our elementary school.
Yes, you're assuming correctly. So, I've been doing a lot of research with the school closing, and in the research, I realized that district's working very hard. However, it fell to the bottom 10th percentile on the most recent MCAS testing. So what that means is we're basically, Quabog Regional District ranks in the lowest 10th percentile, if you measure it out throughout the state. So that puts Ware and West Brookfield and Warren in the category that is highest ranked for a charter school. That being said, if you look on page 2 where it says districts exiting the lowest 10 percentile, Dennis, Yarmouth, Framingham, Greenfield, Marlborough, Revere, and Worcester, all were in the lowest 10 percentile. What's interesting with that is all those towns now have charter schools, or the ability to go to charter schools. So you'll see I highlighted in the 18th percent, and that's North Brookfield, Southbridge, East Brookfield, Spencer, and Ware all sit there. I'm trying to move along quickly because there's a lot of information. I know you got a long meeting, but if you turn to page 3, this handout that I'm giving you is basically created by DESE. They basically look at where the monies are needed in the town and how they can support school systems. So this list helps them identify districts with increased charter school enrollments are possible. If you look down where it says 2026 lowest to percentile, the list identifies districts with increased charter school enrollments are possible. Now, that being said, it is not my job or my role to want to hurt Quabog Regional School District. I want to enhance the performance of the kids that are going there. I recently met with the president of Ulster Village Charter School, the president of the village itself, Jim Donahue, and he was very encouraging. He's opened 3 charter schools, a wealth of knowledge, and said the number one thing we have in our favor is we have a building. We have a building that is functioning as a school. He felt that, I needed to pursue this because it's a district, it's an area of need. He services Southbridge, he services Spencer, North Brookfield, and East Brookfield, but Warren and West Brookfield and Ware have no other recourse with their tax dollars. They basically go to Quabog or they school choice out. So there is a cap that protects the district. In other words, there's only so many students a charter can remove. I had an interesting conversation with a charter school in the 495 area. They've been in operation for 31 years. They function K through 12. They are very interested in coming to our town and opening up a satellite. So there's 2 ways to start.
So do you represent any specific charter school, or
No,
you just?
I represent West Brookfield at this point. Okay.
All right.
So there's 2 ways of going. We either apply as a 501c, get nonprofits, start donating, start working on a 3-year process, which is basically what it takes. The school I spoke with, which I'm going to leave nameless right now because their board is voting on this, they are very interested because they've maxed out of their area, and they feel they saw an interview with the school closing. They flagged it because Jordan and I had mentioned a charter school. So they are basically looking. I told them I was coming to the select board meeting. It was basically timing. I met with her at 2 o'clock. And she says what she's looking for from the board is if I can get approval of commitment of education at that building, even a memorandum of some sort that you would discuss and look at this. What does it mean to West Brookfield? Our children have options, but it also will bring in revenue, and it will wash off that $230,000 that we are going to pay for an empty building. If we do go in with an existing charter school, realistically, we have to, it's a very quick pace, and that's why I'm kind of pressuring you guys to give me opinion, because we have to get a letter of intent by August of this summer. And what that would mean is if it's approved in February of next year, we could open September 2027. So this is a very fluid movement. I have a meeting Friday, and that being said, I'm looking forward to working with, I know I've got a couple of school committee members, speaking with them. It is not my goal to hurt the district. It's my goal to support it. She did give me an interesting fact. The town that they operate out of, initially it was slightly contentious, but they work hand in hand with the district now, sharing teaching models, showing what's working in this school, sharing, going back and forth. So I think I'm excited about this for West Brookfield for the mere fact that it's giving us direction. We get hit pretty hard here because we suffered the loss of an elementary school. It doesn't mean every child in West Brookfield will go to this charter school, but it means it gives us options.
So I will be the first person to admit ignorance when it comes to charter schools.
Okay.
How do they work?
So basically, the money that is allocated to a school, that money now gets allocated to a charter school. It functions very similarly to a school in a district. So basically, you're sharing funds. Because West Brookfield and Warren are in the 10th percentile and where, the school would get more money, in other words.
The charter school would get monies from the state?
Yeah, from the state. I think it's state and partially federal. I'm not clear on that, but I just know we are basically playing. So that's why I want to point out, I'm not here to hurt the district.
Do students have to pay a tuition to attend?
No, you're just basically providing, if you look at the city of Worcester, they were hurting for many, many years. They now have 5 or 6 charter schools in there. Jim Donahue from Worcester Village opened one of them, and they're ranking much better as far as test scores. For the mere fact, kids have learned differently. You have different options. Some are more hands-on programs. I think Jim Donahue, he asked me what I thought about what form of education I was looking at. I'm looking for more of a classical education, getting back to basics. And he's done research that this area is prime for that it would be a good sell. So what we have in front of us is basically, once I get your blessing, a lot of public information sessions, meeting with the district, explaining, how we're going to coexist. And they basically would take over what the town would be.
Who's the they that would basically take over?
The school that I can't name until it happens.
Yeah.
But what you would be doing is basically developing a board of people that live in West Brookfield to manage the operations, making sure maintenance is getting done. And that's another thing. They're going to be paying you rent, and they're going to be doing the repairs on the school.
Okay.
So it really, I don't see, I looked at it, it's 10 different ways, and I'm like, how does this not hurt?
Well, how does it affect the monies coming into the Quabog Regional School?
We've got a lot of kids that are choicing out because of the decision that was made.
Absolutely.
So the person I spoke to today, I asked her if we could prioritize those district students, coming back in to come to a charter school. That's all got to be worked out, but I can guarantee you we're not going to go and just strip down Quabog Regional School District. That is not our goal. Our goal is to encourage and enhance test scores.
Is this an elementary school or a high school?
It would be, that has not been decided, but we're looking at least elementary and K through 8.
K through 8.
Yeah.
Now, in funding, like, we sent $5.175 million to Quabog school system.
Correct.
Now, is there money from the town on top of that?
No.
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 Foundational money is the same per student.
Well, the per student, the district would have to be sharing,
So you'd be
whatever.
paying the charter school and Quabog.
Right. So it would be basically getting split up, and that's the point. It's been very successful in so many
So we'd be
towns.
paying, so we'd be paying Quabog and the charter school. So if a student elects to go to the charter school, we'd pay the funds to the charter school. It's a sum of...
Foundation money, $14,500.
Right, $14,000 per student, which we'd have to pay if they school choice out anyway.
Yeah, but when kids school choice out now, it's 5,000. It's not 14,000. It's like
It is
5,000.
$5,000 is what the school gets, but
Yeah, we
it's
pay
per
a
kid,
lot
it's like
more.
2,100.
So I go back to, children of West Brookfield and Warren and Ware have no other options. We're in a kind of a dry zone. Ulster Village pulls kids from Webster, Southbridge, East Brookfield, Spencer, North Brookfield. They didn't come into our area because they went on demographics and they went on money, and then basically West Brookfield kind of, we made too much money for them to come in. So there's no other options for people, and I know a lot of families are choicing out. So, the other thing I want to point out, and it's a hard thing to say, but we are now increasing class size, and we're in the lowest 10th percentile. How is that going to improve test scores?
MCAS aren't prioritized anymore.
No, they're not, but it's what DESE uses as the benchmark. They're not.
Well, we're going to have to use some kind of...
Hold on a second, guys. You want to say something?
You need to be accepted into a charter school, correct?
It's a lottery system.
Oh, because I was saying, like, you either have a board that will accept it, or it's a lottery system,
It's a lottery
or is it half
system.
and half? Like, how is it?
No, it's a lottery
just
system. Yeah.
fully?
Yeah.
Even if a child's from West Brookfield?
Yeah,
That's what-
it has to be fair. I mean, I'm sure, depending on how it's set up, but it would be a percentage, and that's why we do that, so we're not severely impacting, like the Quabog Regional School District.
So you're saying that the charter school would pay the town rent for the use of the building?
Correct.
Which we would assume offset the funds that we'd have to pay for our students attending the charter school.
Are they going to do an MSBA project on the building too?
I was going to ask the same. When you say maintenance, what about the windows and doors project?
Well, that's all got to be assessed by the school that would be coming in. I can't speak for that. I told them the age of the building. I told them the building needed repairs. But they have access to all kinds of grants, all kinds of stuff. So the point is, we don't have to pay for the building. And the situation we're at, and we're actually bringing revenue into our town from renting the building.
Would the charter school, whatever charter school came in, allow us to use the building for our youth sports?
I think we could easily coexist.
Absolutely.
I do.
I know other charters do that with
Yeah,
towns.
I don't see why we couldn't. I mean, why would we do that? It's like we want to support the town. My fear is that it's going to be like the Leicester School that they closed 10 years ago, where you go drive by and there's weeds coming up, and it's sad.
That's a valid fear.
And I don't want to see that happening to this community, because it is the bedrock of a community. People, when they come to West Brookfield, and I know Madden Road's looking to have a huge addition, they don't ask about the police department, they don't ask about the fire department, they ask about the school system, and they ask about where this elementary school is. So that's a huge thing we have to think about as a community.
I just have a question. I think it's a great idea, and I also am very ignorant on charter schools. You mentioned the current schools in this area are lower 10%. Do you have similar statistics for charter schools?
I can tell you the school that I'm speaking to, this scores in the top 10 of charter schools throughout the Massachusetts. So I feel very honored that they want to come and look at our community.
Are charter schools, are they themed like a Montessori school, or?
Well, there's different curriculums.
No?
There are different curriculums you can use. I'm looking at a more classical charter school, basically getting down to math, English.
Reading, writing, arithmetic?
Correct.
There you go.
Offering another opportunity. It doesn't mean every child in West Brookfield, and I want to emphasize that, it would be getting in, but it provides us a school in town. It is actually, we would be kind of looking at being proactive for this region, because, the Brookfields are not scoring out really great, and I know Gavin said that Bencast doesn't have any teeth anymore, and it doesn't, but it's the only thing DESE has. If they're not using that, they're going to be using some other tool to test how these kids are performing in school.
somebody clarify if a child from West Brookfield went to Brookfield Elementary, we pay $5,000 to Brookfield. If a child from West Brookfield goes to this charter school, how much should we pay?
$14,000.
Why? Why is it such a big difference?
In-district foundation money.
I thought they pay a lot more than that. I thought the other town gets the $5,075, but our town's actually paying over $14,000 on top of that.
But don't forget that the charter school would also pay the town back.
Yeah, if you had
for rent. So it's an offset.
But then we're not on the hook for all of that fees that we have to pay just for the school there empty.
Right.
Don't we pay a lot more for?
I can't hear you.
Question is, do you pay more than 14,000?
No, more than $5,075.
Yeah, I thought it was $5,000 for the school choice.
I think that's just what the other town gets, but our town's paying over $14,000 on top of that. So I mean, that's a big difference, and our school board should know that. Just saying.
You're always so nice.
I'm just saying.
So what are you looking for from us?
Well, I'm
today?
looking for basically your thoughts on this idea. If you know, basically, are you in favor of it? I'm not asking for a vote tonight, but I'm speaking to this woman, and she just needed to know, if you get the select board on board, that's golden, because we have a school. So I'm looking for, if you have to think about it, that's okay, but I'll be back here in the next meeting.
Well, I mean, personally, I'm in favor of it.
Okay.
I would love to see a school back in town. I think it would help all of our property values and help the town.
Exactly.
I don't know how.
I'm open to the idea. I'm open, I mean, I'm assuming July 1st is coming soon. We're going to put out an RFP anyway to see what we can get into school. Definitely open to them. I'd love to have them come in and talk to us once they're not anonymous anymore.
No, and that should be quick. I'm just respecting the board's vote and stuff like that. But, you know, she asked me to meet again on Friday. It's a very fluid, very fast-moving thing. And you're thinking of putting an RFP. Would that mean you're
Well, I'm just saying, we have to do something. I can't just let the building sit there.
I can find that out. I mean, I think I can release the name once they vote and stuff like that, but they basically approached me. They saw it in the paper, they flagged it, because they have a very successful model, and I'm incredibly honored that they want to come out to West Brookfield.
So if a child from Ware comes to the charter school, the town of Ware pays $5,000?
No, they pay more than that. They pay
So if a child from West Brookfield, it's $14,500 or $20,000?
It depends on what town it is and how much money
It goes by
Who's paying that?
the state for the.
Oh, the state is
It's not
paying.
the town.
Okay,
No, the state.
all right.
That's right, yeah, the state.
Okay, thank you.
Depending on their MCAS scores, their levels where they fall, if they fall lower, I think they pay a little more. And then once we bring this school district up, we'll get less money, but by that time, you have more kids. Looking at a model of 300 to 400 students in that school is what that school can handle. There is room for expansion in the school, but at this point.
It'd be nice just to have it be a school.
Right. But I know, but I'm just saying that's the way.
You got something you want to?
Yeah, do we know anything about, like, a charter school? Does it offer, like, IEP, 504, like, disability things?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That is a great question.
Yeah, and it's, I found out from the OSV that you have to prepare, you're probably going to get a lot of, IEPs, because parents are looking for another option, and that's the whole point. We need to provide these parents other options. Because, you think of even, some kids are being bused all over the state, that are on IEPs, and it costing districts a lot of money.
Town alone being bussed out.
Yeah.
And so remember, if you have somebody that comes in that has serious needs, just so everybody knows, we have to ship them out. It costs us a lot of money if they live in town. Just keep that in mind. So that's just one of the things that come along with it.
It's a lot of money.
It's a budget problem.
Charters do specialize in that. I actually worked at a charter school a couple years ago building.
Did you?
There was one handicapped student coming to it. We had to run 3 elevators, 3 chairlift elevators just for one student. And they did get grant money from me.
So you're both in favor without a vote, so I can move forward with speaking to the school?
I'm open to the idea of listening to these people to see what they have to say.
Okay, so
That's me.
maybe getting a meeting set up with you guys?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
It'd be great.
All right. Next on our agenda, request to carry over unused vacation time. Jay Daly, 2 weeks. You didn't get to take 2 week vacation this year.
No, I did not.
No, I did not.
No. And in addition, could we add the police chief? He'd like to carry over 5 days.
Okay.
That he hasn't been able to take, so.
Police chief, 5 days.
Yeah.
Now, is this one single motion or 3 separate motions?
Let's do 3 separate motions.
Could we make them all September 30th? Up to September 30th?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so I get this right. I'll make a motion to carry over unused vacation time, 2 weeks for Jim Daly to be used.
To be used by September 30th or
To be used by September 30th. To be used by September 30th.
What year?
2026.
Okay. I'll second the motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion to carry over unused vacation time, an amount of 2 weeks to be used by September 30th of 2026 by Teresa Kosky.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to carry over 5 days of unused vacation time to Nathan Hedlund, Police Chief, to be used by September 30th of 2026.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item on our agenda is the approval for the issuance of a request for qualifications, RFQ, for the Route 9 Project Phase 3 engineering. This work will be done using MPO grant funding. Another grant receipt for the culvert work will be considered for the town's match share, and other miscellaneous expenses will be paid using Chapter 90 funds. No town funds will be used for this work.
So moved.
Well, yeah.
Do I need to read that again?
No, you can say so moved. I'll second the motion. This is to do Phase 3?
So, yeah, this is the engineering for Phase 3.
And we expect that to be around $1 million?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we did, when we found out that there was a possibility that Phase 3 would be canceled because the town no longer had money to pay their portion of the engineering, Jim Daly and I started lobbying at the State House, all representatives, senators, MassDOT, CMRPC. It was back in October, and we started writing letters and we started having meetings with people, and the result of that is that we came together with a plan. We wrote a grant and got this community culvert grant for $150,000, which will keep the engineering going for the time being, and it actually is now able to be used as the match for this $1 million project, which we have secured through this MPO funding. This is the RFQ that I've worked closely with MassDOT to produce, and it's ready to. It's just in final approvals right now. It should be ready by the end of this week, and we'd like to put it out on combis in the beginning of July, and this would free up the monies for October. So it keeps the project going. We received this money because West Brookfield Highway has such a good reputation of keeping things moving forward. This money was actually allocated for Worcester, but they're so far behind on their project, they're not keeping things going, that they're pulling it and giving it to us.
And in honesty, Jim Daly has just built such a relationship throughout the years on this project from the get-go. Mm-hmm. So it seems almost anything he touches is...
Well, I mean, it's a $30 million project.
Right.
They're willing to give us another million, 1.1 to keep it going.
And you both have worked exceedingly hard on it.
Yep.
So thank you for that.
Yep.
And you said they're giving us another 1.1 to keep it going?
So 150,000
Right.
we're being able to use as the match for the million. So there's nothing being taken out of town funds for this.
So we're spending 150 and getting a million?
No.
Well, it's like 150 grant.
So there's two different grants.
Okay,
There's a community culvert grant
right,
for $150,000.
Right.
Which we have secured.
correct.
We got that grant.
Okay, and that's,
Now we're working
is
on
that to offset part of the million?
The million requires a match. MassDOT has approved the community culvert grant as our town match.
That culvert is part of the Route 9 project.
Okay.
And so therefore they
And
can use that.
it's local money. That $150,000 is local money from the state, and the million is federal money.
Will we still have to use Chapter 90 funds for this project then?
It may be incidental, but nothing.
That's excellent.
Nothing, yeah, no, it's huge. It's
That's
huge.
really
It's been a lot. It's been a lot of work, and it's
Well,
really, yeah.
Cheers to you.
We're really trying to keep it moving forward.
Yeah, no, fantastic job. Absolutely. You and Jim both.
Thank you.
No, so we should probably vote then, huh?
Yes.
We like that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Can you get the tax off for that?
All right, we need to move into executive session now pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A2.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for everything.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks. Talk to you soon. Okay. I'll let you know when council gets back.
You in. What's going on?
Okay, just finish reading this while we clear out.
How are you?
coming back?
No, they're going to vote to go into.
To conduct, okay, executive session pursuant to General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A2, to conduct contract negotiation with non-union personnel and to discuss strategy with respect to such negotiations as an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the public body, police chief contract. I roll a seconder. Has to be a roll call.
Aye, Henry Brogna.
We are returning to open session. The next item on our agenda are treasury warrants, fiscal year 26, number 26. Payroll warrant number 26.
I'll make a motion to accept the FY26 AP warrant number 26 and the FY26 payroll warrant number 26.
I'll second the motion. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next item on the agenda is the town administrator report. Do you have anything for us?
Well, Henry and I will be meeting with CMRPC to go over the data that's been pulled together on the economic development portion of the master planning update. And so we're really excited about getting that moving forward, and this will complement the project grant application that was filed regionally by several towns on Route 9. So the goal will be to be able to incorporate both, and then also to get West Brookfield into the SEDS plan, and we'll go from there. But one thing, too, that I did want to bring up is I've been thinking about the school as well, and anything that you decide to do outside of the charter school, it sounds like that could move fairly quickly. But we pay to have our records housed out in Westfield, and so I I've had a situation where a document was requested and I could not find it, but you would know that it exists somewhere, and chances are it's in storage out in Westfield. If any of the departments that have storage in Westfield need to access, they're going to have to go to that facility while it's open and literally go through boxes. And the ultimate goal would have been to be able to scan the documents and then upload them so that we could have access. And then so we had applied for a community compact grant for that purpose, and instead of the $150,000, the state had pulled back on many grants, were just zeroed out, and our portion for the community compact came back at $15,000. So to take that whole $150,000 project and try to think of the best way to utilize that $15,000 is really tough. And then we have $7,000 left, $7,000 and some change left in the ARPA. And I had thought about the idea if the school wouldn't be used for a year or so, would you want to consider perhaps using one or two of the classrooms or offices that are up in the front of the school building, because we still need to maintain some heat in there and electricity in that. We could stop paying on storage, have all of those documents stored here, and I would like to contact the company that I've been dealing with, trying to come up with ideas for this grant, to see if there's a possibility that I could take the $22,000 combined to purchase a scanner that could scan not just documents, but perhaps full-size plans. And then departments could start scanning, and then we could apply not this cycle, but the following cycle for another community compact to be able to get the software and a company for, what is it, ECI or something like that. But anyway, where they store it into the cloud, but there's software that all the departments could use, but also the public. We could put the portal on our website, and it would help with the public records requests because people could be searching for those documents as well. So I wanted to run that by you. It was something I was thinking about. We need to utilize the ARPA funds, have to be expended by December 31st, and you had put monies aside for the document retaining, and this grant would expire normally June 30th. The state understands the situation and has said that they would be willing to extend that time frame.
I don't have a problem with what you're proposing, but who is suggesting the printer, suggesting the software that you use to scan in? What are you going to do for storage in the interim while we...
So we would, I don't know that our server would be big enough to store everything. So what I would be probably suggesting, I would be talking with him to ask him what the best options would be, but maybe it's even a matter of thumb drives at this point. But
those are very volatile.
But is there some type of storage mechanisms we could purchase?
We would need some network attached storage. You can buy small ones, big ones. We actually just retired a bunch of them. I wonder if I could get the town to get my company to
donate
them to the town.
Ooh.
I'll mention that.
All right. But if there's something that we could work out.
We could just throw that in the rack.
Yeah.
And we're talking like a couple hundred terabytes worth of storage on these things.
Oh.
And that'd be more than the needs.
Yeah, so something like that would be huge. And it would bring the documents back to town where if we had to go look for something, we're not sending someone out to Westfield to dig.
Yeah, and bringing them and storing them in town is great. I think even if we did a charter school, it's doubtful they would need the entire building up front. So they probably would, either we can negotiate something where we could keep a couple of rooms for storage.
Okay.
How big is the storage space in Westfield?
Oh, I don't know. I've never been.
Okay.
I have no idea. This was set up using the company long before I came to town, so.
All right. Okay.
So, yeah.
And the printer would be, the scanner would be right here.
No, it would be over at the school, so that way we could go and scan.
No, I'm talking about, like, let's say we get the scanner, we want to start from today moving forward. It would still be at the school, the scanner?
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I'd have to talk with them. I don't know. I'd have to talk with them to see how that would work.
I understand you'd want some massive, like a blueprint type scanner. But I would suggest you also get just a simple sheet scanner.
Yeah.
Where I work, we actually just use big old Toshiba printers, and they just trim through it all day long.
Yeah. Okay. But if I have your permission to at least make the phone call and look at doing that.
Please do.
The other thing
I'll see about getting the,
okay.
if I can get my company to donate the old hardware. 'Cause
Okay.
We're looking for.
That would be great. The other thing is you had asked about an election for select board member, and Clarissa had reached out to the state, and we could in September for the primaries.
Okay.
Get it on the ballot. So I figured I would tell you about that tonight, and if that's something that you wanted to do, we'll put it on the next agenda for an official vote.
Yes, please.
Yes.
And, okay.
And would it include any other openings we have that are elected? We had, like, was the housing authority job filled? You said the assessors were on.
The assessors, I did, well, that was the next one.
Oh, yeah, were we supposed to not appoint Phil tonight? Or is that next?
It does have to be a joint meeting.
Okay.
And I did speak with Gail, and she is going to submit the official notice to the board. And she is all set in her schedule for July 7th.
Perfect.
And then we'll have Phil come in for the 7th as well, and could jointly make the appointment.
Good.
Okay, and I will check on the housing authority.
Yeah, I don't know if there was others that were blank on the ballot, I'm not sure, but I know the housing authority and the assessor was.
Do you have anything else, Teresa?
No, that'll be it at this time.
Is there any movement on the roof repairs?
I'll have to follow up with them again.
All right.
Yep.
The next item is other business. Anybody have any other business? No other business, comments, concerns? All right. Next item on our agenda is reorganization of the Board of Selectmen. I've been chair for almost 4 years. I'm very tired. And I know it's unusual to have someone just in as the chair, but...
And I don't have a problem with it, as long as if I have questions, I can reach out to you.
Of course.
And
We have to be careful because of open meeting law.
I know, I get it, I understand. I was just trained on open meeting, so I understand.
Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Henry Brogna as the new chair of the Board of Selectmen.
I will second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. So you want to appoint me vice chair?
I'll make a motion to appoint Roland Sickenberger as Vice Chair of the Select Board.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Our next meeting, July 7th, 6 p.m. I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
So moved. We are adjourned.